right, hello YouTube. My name is Kevin, and I am with the Weird Homes Tour, and we do a annual home tour of unique and eclectic homes in Austin, Houston, New Orleans, Portland, Detroit, and San Francisco. And this year we are doing a series of weekly online tours with some of our fabulous homeowners, and they get to give us a inside sneak peek into their home. And this week we are joined by Sue Sheffman of Houston, Texas, and her Hippo home. It's amazing collections of everything Hippo, and it's just amazing. Just a quick note for all those who are watching us live, feel free to type in a comment or a question, and we can get to those while we are recording this live. And without any further ado, here is Sue.
Hi, everyone. My name is Sue Sheffman, the Hippo lady from Houston, Texas. I have everything Hippo, starting with my t-shirt. This is Fiona, the Hippo that was born in the Cincinnati Zoo. She was premature. They had to bottle feed her and so on. So I always have something Hippo on. So I'm going to turn around and show you my garden, my hippopota garden, where I have between 50 and 60 hippos out there. I've spent a lot of time here during the coronavirus because it's been nice weather and there's squirrels and birds and lovely greenery out there. I'm going to give you a view of my home. I told the guys at the Weird Homes Tour that my house isn't necessarily weird, it's creative. But I have a hippo in the bathtub, and apparently that qualifies. So actually I have a collection of eclectic art, hippos, bubbles, and other art objects. This is one of the first things I'm going to show you. I don't know if Kevin's face is in the way, but I'm going to show it to you anyway. This is the piece of art that you can see when you first come in my home. It could be several women that you know, or it could be several personalities in each woman. I like to make up stories, so I'm going to tell you about Gwendolyn, who is in green, and she's serene. And Liza in leopard is jazzy and pizzazzy. Barbara in blue is a businesswoman, bitch kind of person. Priscilla in pink is romantic, and Eve the blonde is just a very nice person. And then there's Fiona the fallen. So I love this picture because I love the colors. I have a hat collection that I wear a lot. It's handcrafted paper that's hand cut or torn, and all the pictures go outside the box. So that's one of my favorite pieces. I have several pieces in my house. Over here is another video of my garden. I didn't used to pay attention to gardens very much, but my mom would always have me come sit in her garden when I visited her in Wichita. And then I had my garden, and then I found this. It's a saying, in search of my mother's garden, I found my own. So that's very special because now every time I go into my garden, I remember my mom. I gave myself a question mark here. If anybody wants to keep tabs of how many times I say hippo or hippos, that might be an interesting project to do while we're doing the tour. I mentioned bubbles. I love bubbles. So this piece of art, if you can call it that, is something that I made in 5 minutes using some leaves and sticks that I found on a scavenger hunt with my grandkids. And I put a little bubble bottle there and a little bubble blower there so that we have have bubbles on the walls. But we're here to hear about hippos. I have some small glass hippos and some hippos from Africa and some from France. Here I have my big wooden hippos. The biggest one, the mama, is Big Bertha. And I've got Freddie the frog who's trying to court her with flowers. Over here is some candles that my daughter had gotten me. Hippo dog toys. My dog just played with that one. We have a puzzled face. And we have more bubbles on my TV stand. Like I said, I have a lot of different art. Here's a figurine dancers that are bronze, and Yadro figurine. Of course, they're hippos. And then I have pictures on my TV screen, and that one is outrageous. So I'd love to put that up for you there. Okay, people ask where and how and why did I start collecting hippos? It started when I was about 8 or 10 and I saw Fantasia, the movie, the Walt Disney movie, and Hyacinth the hippo was dancing in her 4-4. Actually, it was a tutu, but I thought it was not big enough to be just a tutu. After I got married, I found this little gal, thought she was cute, got her for my coffee table. A year later, I stumbled across Hunk the Drunk. Looked like she had a little bit too much to drink. And then my mom gave me a vase. And if you have 3 of something, you have the beginning of a collection. Well, then I went on hippo hunts and I found hippos wherever I went, or I tried to. You know, they're not as common as pigs and ducks and roosters, but I managed to find plenty. I had friends who gave me hippos. And then my kids, when I had kids, started giving me hippos, and they never ended up in the bottom drawer, never to be seen again. So I have a couple of hippo rugs. Hippo basket. This particular one is huge, very heavy, carved out of wood. Found it at an antique store. And after I brought it home the next day, a woman called and said she had a daughter who was a pediatrician and would love to have this hippo in the waiting room for the kids to crawl on. And I thought that was really nice. And I said, that's really nice. And I said, no, you can't have it, it's mine. But her name is on it for when I pass away. More art on the wall, some for my daughter, some for me. A glass lady figurine. This is a tapestry that a fiber artist made here in town. She did some research on it. It's beautiful. She found out that the fish eat the insects between the hippo's toes, so they get manicures and pedicures. Birds sit on top of the hippos and eat the insects off of their body. The males fight in the water. And at night, the hippos, I don't know if you can see them or not, all the way at the top, they leave the water and go looking for grass and hay to eat because they're vegetarians. I found a lot of my hippos at the outside art festivals. This particular one, the guy did not have any hippos, but I loved his work and I asked if he could make me a hippo. He said he was a jeweler. And so I gave him some of my mom's jewelry that I knew that I was never going to wear. And so this is a particularly fine piece that I love. Over here I have a chair that was just a chair, but I had a blanket that had hippos on it. So a friend made that, put the hippo face on the front. But I am particularly fond of hippo rear ends. So I love that. This is an interesting piece right here. My daughter got to carry the torch during the 1996 Olympics when it came through Houston. And for a small fee, you got to keep it. I discovered that they don't pass the torch, they pass the flame. Anyway, some more hippos and some more bubbles. Over here, I call this piece Bopper, because I always bop his head as I come through the kitchen. And bubbles. If you came to my house in person, you would likely get a little bubble bottle to blow, because I think it's bodacious to blow bubbles. Sometimes when I'm at a stop sign, I'll just blow bubbles out the windows to make people smile. This set is Italian crushed marble. So cute. I love the babies with the bottle. That's the way Fiona was fed. And in the bathtub and with a pacifier and just the rest of the family members. So there's several hippo sets that I bought where I couldn't decide what to get. And I went often enough without finding any that I felt it was okay to take whatever I wanted at that time. Penzo tableware from Africa. I have several pieces of that. And over here. This is Gloria from the movie Madagascar. Okay, my collection actually started in my kitchen, and I put up all these shelves with all the hippos. So I had bought many, just by hunting for them. But then I discovered eBay, and this was one of the first things I wanted to get on eBay, the cake pan. But my son said he wouldn't allow me to spend that much money on it. I discovered that things came on eBay often, so I found it at another time. I have salt and pepper shakers, a collection of those. I try to group the hippos together. I have napkin rings. So whenever I set my table, I always have hippos as centerpieces, and just a variety of other hippos. And doesn't everybody have a hippo butt hanging over their breakfast table. My son gave me a gift and I thought, what is this, hippo dung? But when I turned it over, it's actually growth on a tree with a hippo on it. So I appreciated that much more than having hippo dung. Over here, more hippos. I have candy hippos and lollipops. This from an outdoor art festival again. I was a ballroom dancer, not a good one, but I had a great dress. And so he made that for me. Out here is my patio. The tree was dead, so I painted it red. And then I got carried away, as I often do with whatever projects I'm working on. So I have a family of hippos, and I don't know if you can see them very well. I painted their lips red. I think you can maybe see him down there. Anyway, so, and I have birds because, you know, birds are on the backs of the hippos. So I have birds, and I painted birds on the door. I have a birdhouse out there. That's my red artistry patio. Over here, I love this one. It's Big Bertha jumbo pack of napkins. The napkins are just plain white, but I love the packaging. And on top, there are some puzzles that you can see. This is another just big shelf of a lot of hippos. I have pictures. I have bookends. And then I have my magnets. My refrigerator is not magnetized, so I just found some magnetic sheets to put on. Okay, so I like to make up stories. And this is the collection that I made a story up of. I bought these at different times, but it's the same artist. So here is the girl. She graduated from college. She got a job as a teacher. She and her boyfriend were making out on the sofa. They decided to get married. They read The Joy of Sex. She went to the obstetrician where she had not one, but two babies. They were twins. One was a pianist and the other was a computer whiz. Time went by. This is a centerpiece. I change my centerpieces all the time. They're always hippos. And I had stopped collecting about 8 years ago, but my son said he found a hippo that I needed. And I said, well, I don't need any more hippos. I have plenty. But he showed me this picture, and it's acrylic. It weighs between 30 and 40 pounds. And I love it. So I said, you know what? It's my birthday. So I got it. Over here is a rocking horse hippo. Actually, hippopotamus means river horse. So that works out. They got it at the Renaissance Festival. And if anybody's ever been to the festival, they'll know that the parking is very long way from where things are. And they had to carry that sucker. It's very heavy. Over here, I have some hippos just on my etagere with my family pictures. And a hippo in a blimp, really? Or a hot air balloon? Okay, when I remodeled my house in 2005, I was looking for a sink, and there's lots of beautiful sinks. But I found a brochure that said it's not just a sink, it's a work of art. So I gave her pictures and I gave her my colors, and this is what she came up with. And I have a fountain, and this is one of my favorite pieces, amongst many favorite pieces. So this is the hippopodic bathroom. I have lots and lots of hippos. Most everything here is hippo, including the toilet seat and the toilet paper holder, and lots of pictures, except this picture right here. This is a lion in amongst the hippos. And the sign says it's a sociological picture dealing with the mores of 20th century man, the risk of life and limb for a piece of tail. And I just love that one. I also have pictures from my grandson who says, I hippopotamus you. And my granddaughter did a hippo face that's a checkerboard. So I have works of art from my daughter and my grandson and my granddaughter. Okay, we're going into my bedroom where it's another view of the patio. And I have this very large hippo that I lie across and read, and then look out to see the squirrels and birds outside. Here are some hippo dolls. that I like a lot. This one in particular is a diva. It's another hippo I bought after I stopped collecting. I've bought about 8 of them probably. But look at her lips and her hat. I'm a hat person, and diva. She's a diva. I had to have her. There's another one down there, and then the little hippo chair. But the reason I'm on the Weird Homes tour is because I have a hippo in the bathtub. And no, I do not take baths. I take showers. But this one is paper mache, and it's very lightweight. I can lift it. You can see that I can do that. I have more hippos around. And then I have a portrait of us when we were younger and leaner many years ago. In the bathroom area, I have just a strange lady hanging from a blimp and masks and more hippos. And this, when I was taking water aerobics, we had a contest to decorate our swimsuits. So of course I made a hippo. I added a little extra for the rear end, which I didn't really need to do, but I did. Over here, I have a wall of fun art. I have a lot of fun art. So this one says, I've lost 1.5 pounds. Can you tell? And then I have this lady who has some of my small hats on it. This, she needs to cover herself up. I found that was fun. And then one of the people in my hippo group made me into a hippo cowgirl with my dog, BB. I love that. And she's the one who has made many of the t-shirts that we wear to our conventions. We're called the Hippolotofus because there are a lot of us who collect hippos. And every year we go on a convention, which now we call a reunion because conventions are with strangers and we are family now. And if you come join us, you have a hippo t-shirt on, you get a hug and you're a member of the family. So a friend made this large vest for me to wear. I've got more t-shirts on the front. And we also had pewter pieces made from the different cities that we would go to. We've been to Denver, St. Louis, Seattle, Miami, and the one we had in Texas is actually a pewter piece of my second hippo car called Cheerio. So that's very wonderful for me. Outside Art Festival again, I found this wonderful man. My son found this wonderful bikini girl. And my daughter-in-law found the dancers, and they are ballroom dancers. They teach at University of Houston and at Rice. So my son said, how are you going to choose? And again, I said, I can't. So I got them all. And the etagere is just another place for more hippos to live. Coming out into the hallway, my daughter does intense doodling. I think it's called Zentangle now. And she did a family portrait. There's me riding the hippo, and she's riding on the back. And my son and his wife are dancing. I had a class that we had to do something with the alphabet. And so I put letters on all the hippos, the wooden ones, and I called it an alphabetary safari. Coming back into the living room, there is a picture of a lady blowing bubbles because you know I love bubbles. And I have these bubbles above because hippos blow bubbles while they're in the water. And this big guy I found in Tucson where my daughter went to school. And it was delivered in a large crate with packing peanuts. And I couldn't wait to open it. So it was a very windy day and the peanuts went all over the house. You can see how large she is because I have a doll there that's about the size of a 3-year-old. And when I first got it, it was like, I don't know where I'm going to put it. It's very large. It's also paper mache and I can lift it with one hand. But I didn't know where to put it. I said I could put it in the bedroom. I could put it in the living room. And if not, I can't find a place, I'll move. But luckily it fits under the stairs very nicely. Another interesting thing we found when we were on our honeymoon. It's a gong that we got from our mother-in-law. I apparently like round things because this is a wonderful kinetic piece that just goes on and on. And I love that. I love things that are textured. I have lots of textured things. a glass hippo I found in Denver. And then I call these my tinies because they're very, very small. Here's another little lady to greet you. I have hippos on the stairs. I don't always have them there because I have a room upstairs that is called the hippo room because everything there is stuffed hippos. And I have about 325 of them. And I know that because my granddaughter and her best friend loaded them all up on the stairs and counted them. My entryway table has metal hippos on it. It was just a table until I made it into a hippo stand. This is kind of fun. This is a mood indicator. I do not sit like that. Normally I will sit kind of like that. But if my honey comes home, he'll know whether he's going to have a fun night tonight. Okay, I'm going into my catch-all room. This lady is called Tilly. She's my name tag lady. She has a hippo sweater on and it has a hippo in her arms. And she mans my name tag table when I have parties and meetings, which I have quite a few of at my house. And I usually have this hippo picture says welcome and other hippo items in here. One of the fiber artists here in town, I had seen a pig that she had made. And I thought if she can make a pig, she can make a hippo. So she did. And I gave her a picture of me dressed as a clown, which I sometimes do. And I thought she caught the outfit pretty well. Another one of my favorites, as I have many. That one up there, it's a lamp my mother gave me. It's a rhinoceros. So I put a bird on its horn so you wouldn't be able to tell the difference, but I tell everybody anyway. And some more hippos, bookends. And this little yellow egg will have one of these small hippo figures in it. The egg will be covered with chocolate, and it would be like our Happy Meals. They're from Germany, it's Kinder. And this is the Star Wars set that has R2-D2 and our Darth Vader and Princess Leia. And there's the Hollywood set that has Marilyn Monroe and Charlie Chaplin and guys with cameras. There's the group that went on the ship. There's workers, different sets, very well made from Germany. I like that. Over here, just have to add this. People always expect more of you when you have naturally curly hair. And I do have that. So when I was in Florida at Disneyland, they had where you could choose a picture of any of the characters and they would put a name on it and then they would make them watch for you. So I have had this for like 20 years. I wear it every day. Another member of our group did the clown up there. So I can take any questions now, Kevin, if you have any questions.
Yeah, we have a couple questions. Well, first off, you're getting some love. Diane Cox says that she loves your hippo collection, and Marie earlier says that she's loving all your hippo stuff. We didn't cover it yet in this tour, but you have a lot of hippos. Do you know how many you have?
Oh, that's such a good question. Yes, I started with 800 in my kitchen, and then I found, went on my hippo hunts, and then I found eBay, and then we had the people who were buying and selling the hippos on eBay started a chat group, and so somebody would say there's a purple flashlight hippo at Office Depot, and so everybody in the respective towns would go there. So after all those places to input hippos, I have around 2,000. But there are a lot of people in the group who have more than that, 5,000. There's one that has 10,000. So yeah, there's a lot of hippos around. And we had the group, it's the Hippolotofus group. There's actually over 900 of us online. And when we go to the conventions, we have between 40 and 60 people who come. And they come from Germany and France and Australia and Mexico. So we have people from all over.
Amazing. And I have to ask, if you wake up one day and your house is on fire, and I know that you said that you have many favorites, but you only have to save one hippo, what hippo would you save?
That's so tough. Well, I'll take the one that I'm about to show you, of course. And it might be that orange one that was the centerpiece. Although it's so heavy, I don't know. That's very hard. Don't go there. I don't want that. we just won't have that happen. How's that?
Oh, that sounds great. Why don't you show us the grand finale here?
Okay, let me show you real quick. So during the coronavirus, I have in my carport set up a hippopotamus picnic where I brought my hippos out, and I've invited the kids in the neighborhood to bring their stuffed animals to come over and join us. And my chairs are 6 feet apart, so we can sit and chat. But then this is lips. Look at that, lips that belong to my latest Autopotamus, my hippo car. The lips are huge. The hood is huge. It takes 2 people to lift it. The eyes have long eyelashes that wave in the breeze. It's a Subaru Forester, and it looks like a normal car kind of from the side, but he added like 1.5 feet on the front. Thank you very much. But it looks so much like a diva. I had him make a hat for her since I like hats. And I put a purple hippo for the first car I had, which was Harmony. And I had her for 12 years. And then Cheerio is the red one, and I had her for 12 years. And so hopefully this one will last even longer than that, and maybe my last hippo car. So my mission in life is to make people smile. It doesn't matter what race or religion or political party you belong to. It's okay to like a hippo car, especially when it has a huge, gigantic rear end. Also takes 2 people to lift it. Her name is Hope, because everyone needs a little hope in their lives today. And when you drive a hippo car, it makes people smile. I hope you smiled today at my house and at my car. And that's my tour for the Weird Homes Tour.